Hi, so my name is Hengyu. And when I was in kindergarten, my parents asked me that question. What do you want to do when you grow up? I know it's such a common question for parents to ask their children, so you may have heard about that question too. But at that time, I saw that cleaning is the most essential task at home, and it feels like my mom's privilege to be able to clean all the dangerous stuff in the kitchen, like pans and knives, while I wasn't even allowed in the kitchen. As a result, when I think about that, I answered them really confidently. I said, I want to be a cleaner when I grow up. I forgot their reaction at the time, but one thing's for sure. They still laugh at me about that. Even now, like I'm 15, they still laugh at me about that. Because cleaner just doesn't sound like a typical dream job for kids. Then when I get older, at about 7, I decided that I want to be a worker in the world's ice cream. And that time, I think I have a more convincing reason. I can help them eat ice cream that had imperfections. I know, think about these dream jobs right now, they all seem so babyish and so silly. But there's still one thing good about them. As you can see, they're still realistic. Please know that many of my friends wanted to be princesses or fairies at that time. My parents never stopped asking me that question as I grew up, probably knowing how random my answers would be, as you can see, and how often can they change. However, I realized that I can think of fewer and fewer possibilities of my future as I grow up. And it's the same for many people my age. According to Francis McKeown of Concrete, statistics released by allaboutcareers.com shows that 52% of school students agree or strongly agree with the statement that I had no idea what I want to do with my career. In other words, there are more than half of students who struggle to find a job they want to do. And it's not only students' problem. Many other people had that challenge too. Many young people graduate from college and they just realized they had no job to do, like my cousins. And even more, people ended up doing something they don't like for their entire life, waiting painfully for their weekend to come, just because they don't know what they want to do. When we were in kindergarten, like when our teacher asked us those kind of questions, we can always think of our two answers. But now, we seem to have fewer and fewer ideas about our future, our dreams, and even ourselves. I think it's not because that we don't have as many interests as we once were. We still have many hobbies, but they're just considered inappropriate to make into our careers. Take a small example. I believe all of us can play games, like all sorts of computer games, video games, and we're really good at that. But think about it. How many of you guys dare to tell your parents that you want to be a professional esports player? Or even just an inventor of video games? Similarly, many of us like animation, cartoon, manga, like me. But how many of your parents will actually allow you guys to draw animation? So as we can see, as we grow up, we slowly learn that not all jobs can fit in with people's expectations. People tend to measure jobs based on the money they can make. At least it's like that in my family. And that really makes us treat a job differently. Some jobs, because they can make more money, they're considered kind of superior to the others, like doctor, scientist, lawyer, those jobs that your family member recommend you to do. And there are other jobs that can't make that much money, so they're considered at the bottom of the food chain, like cleaner, seller, security guard. It's not like they're bad, they just can't make that much money. As a result, when we talk about our dream job again, some people feel that it's their responsibility to tell you yes or no, thinking that you must choose certain positions in order to live a good life. When I was in middle school, I decided that I want to be a cartoonist. I know that's the third dream job I have, and a little bit more appropriate compared to my first two. My mom was really supportive about my ideas, but that time she really asked me seriously. She said, "Don't you want to be a doctor or a lawyer? Are you sure you want to be a cartoonist? That's what you want?" And I was like, that's so bad. Like, it's very good that my mom expects more from me, she believes in me, but that also gives me some kind of invisible pressure. You might have learned about that kind of pressure in certain points in your life. It might be the time that your mom told you not to be a firefighter because it's too dangerous and they can't make you rich. It might be the time that your teacher told you to stop painting, focus on your academic things because you deserve a better job and be an artist. It might even be the time that you realize all your friends have perfect plan for future, like they know what they want to do, they want to be a scientist, they want to be a doctor, and you happen to be the only one who want to be a mom or something like that. So with some expectation from other people, we slowly choose to look for a job that sounds nice, one can please our family, one can make us more money. We care too much about what other people will think about our ideas, and we become more and more hesitant in making decisions. And slowly, the expectation just restrains our mind. We become too worried to think. That's why I think most of us have no idea what we want to do in the future. However, that's also when I realized those babyish ideas I had in kindergarten might be the boldest ideas I can ever have about my dreams. They're ideas that actually reflect what I like, what I want to do, without the disruption of other people's judgment. I certainly wasn't worried about my parents' thoughts and reactions when I told them I want to be a cleaner. Yeah, I had to admit that those dream jobs are not that thoughtful. But who cares? What we need is that courage and the spirit. It's time to reconnect to ourselves and reconnect to the things we really like to do. With that mindset, I start to prepare for my dream job again. I start to paint again. For those of you who know me, I always had a hobby of painting, but I drew less and less since I get to middle school because I was worried that if I spend time on something like that, I won't have enough time to study. I think it might be the same idea for many of us. However, being a cartoonist is my dream job, and I'll never know if I really like it or not if I don't even explore more about it. So that's why I pick up my pen again and start to practice sketching and other things with my classmates. Every time when I finish homework early or just want a short break, I draw something like that. It's about how we play volleyball in PE, and see, I'm that bad player, can't save a single ball. Then during the weekends, I make the exciting things that happened at school that week into those short comics. It's really interesting to just let my friends read my comics and see the silly stuff I draw and simply laugh about them. Within a year, I had learned a lot more about this job and what I should be working on in order to become a cartoonist. And most importantly, I think I explored my dream and ability. I used to be really stressed about what I should be working on in the future and what others will think about me. But now I realize that it feels much less stressful to be actually working on something, or even just an idea about my future, instead of worrying and not trying anything. So just like many high schoolers, I'm an ordinary student wandering around, trying to figure out what my future will be like. As you can see, it's still really uncertain. But when we reconnect to my interests and set expectations aside, I can explore myself like a kid again. There are really many possibilities for us, no matter how old we are, no matter what we really like to do. So please, reconnect to yourself, set others' expectations aside, and most importantly, give your dream a try. Thank you.